If I told you that some of the biggest songs of the 1970s came from artists who never had another major hit, would you believe it? These songs dominated the airwaves, reached #1 on the charts, and became part of the memories of millions. The funny thing is, most people remember the songs, but forget the names of the artists who recorded them. Today, let's take a trip back in time and rediscover 12 one-hit wonders of the 1970s that you'll recognize the instant the music starts playing. Number 12. My Sharona by The Knack. In 1979, My Sharona seemed to take over every radio station in America almost overnight. The Knack's breakout hit spent 6 consecutive weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the biggest songs of the late 1970s. Interestingly, Doug Fieger wrote the song about Sharona Alperin, the 17-year-old girl who completely captured his heart. Its unforgettable opening guitar riff and explosive energy turned the song into a phenomenon on radio, television, and in countless movies. The media even called The Knack the new Beatlemania, but that enormous hype also became their biggest challenge. They never escaped the towering shadow of My Sharona. Number 11. Venus by Shocking Blue. If you were listening to the radio in the early 1970s, chances are you found yourself singing along to Venus. The Dutch band Shocking Blue accomplished something extraordinary by reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and winning over audiences around the world. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Robbie Van Leeuwen wrote the song by blending psychedelic rock with a melody inspired by the banjo song, while Mariska Veris's powerful vocals gave it a sound that's instantly recognizable. It takes only a few opening notes for listeners to know exactly what song they're hearing. Your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire. The song sold more than 1 million copies and found new life in the 1980s when Bananarama recorded a hugely successful cover. Although Shocking Blue continued enjoying success in Europe, they never matched the worldwide impact of Venus. Number 10. Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. Some songs need only a few guitar notes to bring an entire era rushing back. Spirit in the Sky is one of those timeless classics. What's especially fascinating is that Norman Greenbaum wasn't a Christian, but after watching Porter Wagoner perform gospel music on television, he decided to try writing a spiritual song himself. The result exceeded every expectation. Released in 1970, the song climbed to #3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped the charts in several countries. Its signature fuzz guitar and powerful melody made it one of the most recognizable rock songs ever recorded. Although Greenbaum never had another major hit, he's forever remembered because of this unforgettable song. Number 9. I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. In 1972, I Can See Clearly Now gave millions of people around the world a renewed sense of hope. Johnny Nash's uplifting classic spent 4 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the most optimistic songs of the entire decade. Bright sunshine. Before this success, Nash had spent years in Jamaica and became one of the first American artists to introduce reggae influences to mainstream audiences. There's even a story that he wrote the song after eye surgery, although that has never been confirmed. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. Its message of clear skies after the rain continues to resonate with generation after generation. Although Johnny Nash kept recording, he never surpassed the enduring success of this timeless hit. What a bright sunshine. Number 8. Come and Get Your Love by Redbone. Some songs make you want to sing along from the very first notes, and Come and Get Your Love is one of them. Released in 1974, it reached the Billboard Hot 100 Top 5 and became Redbone's signature hit. The band was founded by brothers Pat and Lolly Vegas, Native American musicians who blended rock, funk, and indigenous musical influences into a style all their own. While many bands followed established formulas, Redbone created something completely unique. Although they continued performing and releasing music, Redbone never repeated the success of Come and Get Your Love, the song that secured their place in music history. If you lived through the 1970s, there's a good chance at least one of today's songs became part of your own memories. Let us know which one it was. Number 7. In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry.
Summertime when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky.
What if I told you that one of the best-selling songs of all time didn't even use a traditional drum kit? In the Summertime, the main rhythm comes from Ray Dorset stomping his foot right there in the recording studio. That simple approach gave the song its unmistakable charm.
When I grab people, when I dirty, when I mean, we love everybody.
Released in 1970, the record quickly became a global sensation, selling more than 30 million copies and earning its place among the best-selling singles in music history. But how do you follow a success like that? Mungo Jerry continued writing and performing, yet no later song ever escaped the enormous shadow of In the Summertime. Some magical moments simply happen only once. Number 6. Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Few people realize that Kung Fu Fighting was never expected to become a classic. At the time, Carl Douglas was recording I Want to Give You My Everything, while Kung Fu Fighting was hastily written to serve as nothing more than the B-side. Inspired by the martial arts movie craze of the early 1970s, Douglas and producer Bidu added playful sound effects and energetic rhythms simply to capture the mood.
Here comes the big boss. Hey, let's get it on. We took the ball.
No one imagined that the throwaway song would explode, spending 3 weeks at number 1 in the UK before reaching the top of the Billboard Hot 100 in America. Although Carl Douglas released more music afterward, he'll always be remembered for one unforgettable song, Kung Fu Fighting. Number 5. Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry. Play That Funky Music was born from a heckler's remark during a concert. Wild Cherry was originally a rock band, but while performing in Pittsburgh, someone in the audience shouted, "Play some funky music, white boy!" Instead of taking offense, singer Rob Parisi remembered the line and turned it into a song that very same night.
Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die.
The result was a Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit and one of the defining funk anthems of the 1970s. Ironically, Wild Cherry wasn't really a funk band. When they later returned to rock, or tried to recreate the formula, they never found another hit. In the end, their entire legacy became inseparable from this one unforgettable record. Number 4. Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest.
We get it almost every night.
It's hard to believe that one of the happiest songs of the 1970s was inspired by a terrifying experience. Sherman Kelly wrote Dancing in the Moonlight after surviving a brutal assault by a gang while visiting St. Croix. During his recovery, instead of writing about pain, he imagined a world where everyone could gather under the moonlight in peace and happiness.
In the moonlight, everybody's feeling warm.
That dream became this timeless classic. Although the song wasn't expected to become a major hit, it gradually won over radio stations and became one of the defining sounds of the decade. Perhaps it's that message of hope that has allowed Dancing in the Moonlight to endure for generations. Which artist do you think deserved more than the label of one-hit wonder? Let us know in the comments below.
Everybody's dancing in the moonlight.
Number 3. Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass.
Poet out of Western Bay, and it's served.
Many people believed Brandy, You're a Fine Girl was based on a real woman from a coastal town. Released in 1972, the song quickly climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Looking Glass's biggest hit. Several bars named Brandy claim to have inspired the song, but songwriter Elliot Lurie insisted the character was entirely fictional. With its gentle melody and touching story of love, sacrifice, and life's difficult choices, the song became a staple of AM radio and summer road trips. Looking Glass never enjoyed another success of this magnitude, but Brandy continues to be cherished by generations of music fans.
Here's some say, Brandy, you're a fine girl.
Number 2. Magic by Pilot.
Ho, 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 it's magic!
Some songs are so effortlessly beautiful that it's hard to imagine they could change an entire band's career. Magic was exactly that kind of song. At the time, the Scottish band Pilot was virtually unknown outside the United Kingdom and simply wanted to write a great pop record.
Never believe it's not so!
Behind its crystal-clear sound was producer Alan Parsons, whose work helped create such an emotionally rich recording. The results exceeded every expectation as Magic reached the Billboard Hot 100 Top 5, climbed to number 1 in Canada, and became one of the most played songs of its era. Although Pilot later enjoyed another UK hit with January, they never matched the international success of Magic. Number 1. Slow Ride by Foghat. Some songs don't need to rush to win listeners over, and Slow Ride is one of them. From the very first moments, its laid-back guitar riff, steady drum beat, and hypnotic groove create the feeling of cruising down an endless highway. Interestingly, Foghat never wrote the song with radio success in mind. The British blues rock band was best known for its explosive live performances across America, often featuring extended guitar improvisations. Although Slow Ride peaked only in the Billboard Hot 100 Top 20, it became an enduring symbol of road trips, convertibles, and the free-spirited American lifestyle, ensuring that Foghat would be remembered for decades to come. Those are 13 of the most unforgettable one-hit wonders of the 1970s. Every one of these songs has its own remarkable story. Some were inspired by an offhand comment, others were born from tragedy, and some were originally intended to be nothing more than B-sides before unexpectedly conquering the world. What they all have in common is this. Although these artists never matched the success of those songs, a single hit was enough to secure their place in music history. Decades later, these melodies still play on the radio, accompany road trips, fill family gatherings, and live on in the memories of millions of music lovers. Now, it's your turn. Which of these songs brings back the strongest memories for you? Or is there another one-hit wonder from the 1970s that you think deserved a place on this list? Let us know in the comments below. If these timeless classics have taken you back to some of your favorite years, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can join us on more nostalgic journeys through music history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Never believe it's not so!
Now, before we wrap up, we'd like to share one more thought with everyone who stayed with us until the very end. The term one-hit wonder often sounds as if these artists simply got lucky once and then disappeared forever. But when you take a closer look at music history, the story is far more fascinating than that. In reality, most of the artists we've talked about today never stopped making music after their biggest hit. They continued writing songs, recording albums, touring, and performing for years, sometimes even decades. The only difference is that the public usually remembers the one song that changed everything, while the rest of their work quietly faded into the background. That doesn't mean their talent disappeared. It simply means it's incredibly difficult to recreate a moment that captured the attention of the entire world. Music history is filled with stories like these. Some artists released 10 or 15 albums during their careers, yet only one song became timeless. Others continued selling out concert halls long after radio stations had stopped playing their newer material. When they stepped onto the stage and those familiar opening notes rang out, thousands of fans still sang every word from memory. That kind of connection is something very few musicians ever experience. A truly great song can outlive chart positions, trends, and even generations, becoming part of people's lives in a way that statistics can never measure. Perhaps the baby boomer generation understands this better than anyone else. You didn't grow up with streaming services, playlists, or algorithms recommending your next favorite song. You waited patiently for the radio to play the song you loved. You saved your money to buy a vinyl record or a cassette tape. Every album was an investment, and every song became attached to a real memory. Sometimes all it takes is the opening guitar riff to transport you back to a summer evening, a first date, a high school dance, a family road trip, or the day you first got behind the wheel of your own car. Those memories are impossible to measure, yet they're exactly what gives these songs their lasting power. What's even more remarkable is that many of today's one-hit wonders continue to find new audiences decades after they were first released. Songs like Come and Get Your Love, Spirit in the Sky, My Sharona, Slow Ride, and Play That Funky Music have appeared in blockbuster movies, television shows, commercials, sporting events, and even video games. Younger generations may not always recognize the artists' names, but they instantly recognize the music. That's the mark of a true classic. Great songs never really disappear. They simply find new listeners, generation after generation. Maybe that's why the label one-hit wonder doesn't tell the whole story. Creating a song that people still love 50 years later is something millions of musicians dream about, but very few ever accomplish. Some artists have dozens of chart hits that eventually fade from memory, while others leave behind a single song that becomes part of music history forever. When a record is still being played, still being sung, and still bringing smiles to people's faces half a century later, it has become much more than just a hit. It has become a soundtrack to people's lives. So perhaps we should think of these artists differently. Rather than remembering them simply as one-hit wonders, maybe we should remember them as musicians who created one perfect moment. One song powerful enough to outlive changing trends, changing generations, and even time itself. Because in the end, making one song that the world will never forget is an achievement that countless talented musicians spend an entire lifetime chasing but never quite reach.